What's up, Taiwan? I'm Sandy Chi with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Tuvalu's ambassador has told Australian media that the country could soon break relations with Taipei in favor of Beijing. He's called on Australia and its partners to watch the situation and increase support for his nation. Louise Watt reports from Taiwan's Foreign Ministry on Taipei's reaction.
Taiwan's foreign ministry is stressing the importance of its ties with fellow island nation Tuvalu, saying it cherishes its ally and it's willing to enhance relations. This after the Tuvaluan ambassador told media that his country could follow its neighbor Nauru and ditch Taipei in favor of Beijing. Tuvalu is Taiwan's longest-standing ally in the Pacific, a region where China has been trying to increase its influence. The loss of Nauru brought Taiwan's official allies down to 12, a setback to Taiwan after elections that saw the ruling party's candidate, Lai Ching-te, win the presidency, a result Beijing did not want to see. Senior Tuvaluan officials sent congratulations to President-elect Lai on his victory, but the country is holding its own elections in a few days. Whether they will want to continue working with Taiwan will depend on Tuvalu's next government. Scott Huang and Louise Watt at Taiwan's Foreign Ministry for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's military will widen runways at 7 air bases to improve their resilience to attacks. The Defense Ministry and U.S. advisors decided to expand runways to 60 meters after last year's Hanguang military exercises, Taiwan's largest defense drills. Widened runways can be repaired faster and would be big enough for U.S. bombers and large transport aircraft to land on. Pilots from one of Taiwan's largest airlines are pushing to go on strike over Lunar New Year. A walkout could cause travel chaos for thousands of people trying to get home for the holiday. Tiffany Wong reports.
The Taoyuan Pilots Union has obtained the right to strike and may do so as early as Lunar New Year, Taiwan's biggest holiday season. Early this morning, union members counted votes, with 900 voters overwhelmingly showing support for the strike and only 10 voting against it. The Pilots Union has been calling for better safety protocols and fair wages for workers at EVA Airlines, one of Taiwan's largest airlines. The union chair, who's also an EVA pilot, said that they would still be open to negotiations with their employer.
我们还是希望在这当中，长荣航空好好的坐下来，跟工会对一个平等的协商态度，拿出实质的解决办法出来。工会绝对不是为了罢工而罢工，我们都希望可以好好的坐下来解决这一场争议。
Last month, EVA announced bonuses and pay raises, which the union dismissed as a tactic to disrupt their vote. Following today's results, EVA Air did not respond in time for comment. The pilots' union says it will give at least 24 hours notice in advance of a strike, which would affect long-haul flights from major cities in the US, Canada, and Europe. So those hoping to fly during Taiwan's biggest holiday season should be prepared for travel chaos. Justin Wu and Tiffany Wong in Taoyuan for TaiwanPlus.
A road safety group that's campaigning to bring pedestrian deaths in the country down to zero is taking aim at road design. The alliance says bad design is to blame for many accidents. Jeremy Olivier explains.
This busy street in central Taipei is just one of many where cars and scooters and people on foot all share the same space. Now, Taiwan is known as one of the safest countries in the world, but it's also got a growing reputation for its dangerous roads. It's especially true for pedestrians. Over 600 people died after being hit on Taiwan's streets last year. It's a big jump from previous years. Now, a lot of this has to do with poor enforcement of traffic safety rules, something the government is trying to improve with new laws and steeper fines on drivers. But another issue are Taiwan's sidewalks and other pedestrian walkways. Now, these are often inconsistent, they're poorly kept, or they're used for purposes other than walking. But a new alliance of traffic safety groups is trying to bring awareness to this problem in Taiwan. They've got a list of demands, and that includes improving Taiwan's pedestrian areas. They say road design here has actually gotten worse over the past few decades.
在民国80年代的道路，甚至是比较好的规划，就是还有实体的人行道，还有路缘，还有右转的车道。但是到同一个地方。 同一个地图，现在的图纸资料库它反而是没有的。
The group says it wants to push for more people-oriented transportation. That means giving pedestrians more safe spaces to walk. With so many of Taiwan's streets, like this one, geared toward drivers, they may have a long road ahead before they can reach their goal of 0 pedestrian deaths. John Su and Jeremy Olivier in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's legislature is set to consider changing reproductive laws after the Lunar New Year. Current laws restrict access to some methods of reproduction, including surrogacy. It was one of the topics raised during Taiwan's January elections, but a recent study found that 80% of the public are against legalization.
社会上对于代理孕母这件事情还是有许多不同的看法。以这一次的选举的过程当中，那各个政党其实就是说对于代理孕母的态度也都不尽相同。这一个议题显然社会的共识还有一段距离。
Environmental groups are calling on the government to promote reusable products after finding alarming amounts of plastic washed up on Taiwan's beaches.
用一次性的塑胶用品，减少塑胶使用也是很重要的。所以我们觉得政府跟企业应该要加快呢，去发展这种重复使用的商品，那让这个塑胶可以真正的去减少，那保护我们的生态。
It comes after volunteers collected and categorized garbage found on Taiwan's east coast last year. They found that most of the waste was bottle caps and plastic bottles. But there were also lots of straws, cigarette butts, and fishing gear. Environmental advocates say plastic waste is dangerous because it breaks down into microplastic and can impact humans through the food chain. A mass of cold air from the north is forcing temperatures to drop suddenly in Taiwan. As Rick Lauer reports, the winter weather could bring snow to parts of the country, including in the hills around the capital, Taipei.
A final day of class this week for these students in the hills around Taipei. Their school is closing its doors as cold air from the north sends temperatures plummeting across the subtropical island nation.
因为真的预期的这个寒流来会造成可能路上会结冰的这个情形，可能其他区域它可能它气候比较干燥，它可能不会有路面积雪的情形，会湿滑。那我们这边的确会有这样的情形，所以我们就做了这样子的一个共识跟决定。
The weather here is set to drop to below 10 degrees Celsius, and for the first time in years, snow is forecast on the highest parts of the capital. The government is warning the public to take measures to stay warm. Most public buildings in Taiwan are better suited to the country's usually temperate weather and hot summers than cold snaps like this one. When the temperature suddenly falls, it can take the country off guard. Officials are also concerned for drivers that aren't accustomed to freezing conditions. In the mountains, police are planning traffic control measures to check cars are fitted with snow chains. This rare freeze comes during one of Taiwan's warmest winters on record. But global warming and climate change is making freak weather like this harder to forecast.
We can predict by our experience, but sometimes when all of the data show is break the record, sometimes it's not easy to predict the extreme case in the future. So that's why we are very worried about the climate change.
For those who made the trek to this national park, Taiwan's big freeze has divided opinion.
明天我们有几个朋友约好，就是说如果有下雪，大概6点多就要上来。
所以就可能会行程就会改变啊，之后可能就附近的景点走走啊，或阳明北投哪里泡温泉这样。
People here won't have much time to bear or to enjoy this chilly weather. Within a few days, temperatures here are expected to return to double digits. Luffy Lee and Rick Lauert for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out these cherry blossoms blooming in Nantou County in central Taiwan. I'm Sunny Chi, take care and see you next time.
For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, please visit us at TaiwanPlus.com.